Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and absolutely demystify the 2026 AI automation landscape. The goal here? To help you stop drowning in endless tools and actually start saving your time. We've all seen the flashy headlines about AI taking over tasks, but the reality on the ground right now is, honestly, kind of a chaotic mix of platforms, pricing models, and capabilities. So today, we're going to cut right through that noise. We'll look at the hard data, break down the exact tools you should be using based on your specific role, and, perhaps most importantly, uncover those hidden costs that nobody really talks about. To really establish the stakes right off the bat, the global agentic AI market is projected to hit a staggering $28.5 billion by 2028. We're talking a 31.6% growth rate here. We are experiencing a massive, massive influx of capital and innovation, and it's literally transforming how businesses operate from the ground up. We're not just talking about cute little chatbots anymore. We're looking at massive investments into digital workforces that can actually execute real tasks on your behalf. So here's our roadmap for today. 1. The agentic AI era. 2. Workflows versus autonomous agents. 3. The no-code business owner. 4. The developer's AI toolkit. 5. Enterprise and compliance needs. And finally, 6. The real cost of AI. Let's break this whole landscape down. Starting with Section 1, the agentic AI era. This is a fundamental shift. Listen, the days of basic chat interfaces are over. If your AI isn't acting autonomously and executing tasks on its own, you're already falling behind the curve. The data clearly tells us that by the end of 2026, 40% of enterprise applications will feature embedded conversational agents. You don't just want a system that talks back to you anymore, right? You need a system that acts, that clicks buttons, routes information, and actually does the heavy lifting for you. Moving to Section 2, workflows versus autonomous agents. Basically, static versus autonomous. Now, this is a distinction a lot of people just get wrong, but the paradigm shift is pretty stark. While traditional AI linearly waits for your prompt with rigid if this then that logic, agentic AI operates autonomously to adapt to changing conditions in real time. Think about traditional workflow automation. It completely relies on rigid logic, like if a lead comes in, send an email. But if an unexpected variable pops up, bam, the whole thing breaks. Agentic AI, on the other hand, actually reasons through problems. It can handle decision-making on the fly, totally adapting its approach based on the context you've given it. So the absolutely crucial point here is that we are moving from assistants that suggest to partners that execute. An agentic system doesn't just generate text, it forms a plan. It goes out and uses external tools like your CRM or a web browser. It executes those steps sequentially, and, this is the kicker, it corrects its own errors without you constantly hovering over its shoulder. Notice the cyclic workflow we have going on here. By using frameworks like LangGraph, an AI agent doesn't just fail silently in a straight line anymore. It attempts a task, validates it against strict criteria, revises it using error feedback, and then finally approves the final state. Traditional data pipelines just flow in one direction, but AI agents, well, they make mistakes, and they need to be able to loop back, check their work against your constraints, and fix it before moving on. Frameworks like LangGraph give engineers that granular control over this entire self-correcting cycle. All right, on to Section 3, the no-code business owner. Automating without writing a single line of code. For those of us who want to build amazing things without a computer science degree, here's how your best options stack up. Zapier offers over 8,000 integrations for just pure simplicity. Make.com provides these beautiful visual canvases for incredible value. And Gumloop, it literally lets you build advanced agents using plain English, even connecting to your local tools via MCP or Model Context Protocol. So if you have zero technical skills and just want a simple task done in 10 minutes, Zapier's great. If you need complex branching logic and really want to save some cash, Make.com is the sweet spot. And if you want true AI agents built just by chatting, Gumloop is leading the charge for non-technical folks. I always like to say, think of Zapier as the Toyota Camry of the software world. It is incredibly reliable and super easy to set up. But actually, scratch that. It's more like a premium service when you start scaling. It connects almost everything to everything. But its linear builder and pricing model mean that if you're running heavy multi-step workflows, you are definitely going to be paying top dollar for that brand name simplicity. Let's pivot to Section 4, the developer's AI toolkit. We're talking autonomous coding. The AI IDE space has just completely exploded lately, shifting from simple autocomplete to entirely autonomous coding agents. Cursor is fantastic for power users because it deeply indexes your entire local repository and gives you up to 8 parallel agents. Windsurf is innovating wildly right now with its Cascade flows, letting agents deeply integrate and even run A/B tests on different models inside your editor via Arena mode. And then there's Copilot, which remains the safe, universal choice if your whole team already lives and breathes inside the GitHub ecosystem.
Now, the leap in engineering capability here is absolutely staggering. When you look at fully autonomous AI like Devin, it successfully resolved 13.86% of real-world GitHub issues. Compare that to a really dismal 1.96% from previous non-agentic models. Devin has its own secure shell, its own code editor, its own web browser. You just hand it a high-level goal, and it plans the architecture, reads API docs it's never seen before, writes the code, and deploys the app. It's not about replacing senior engineers, it's a tireless force multiplier that just clears out your backlog.
Moving into Section 5, Enterprise and Compliance Needs. Because sometimes you need strict security. Look, while startups can move fast and break things, regulated industries absolutely cannot. So what happens when your business requires strict security protocols? Well, if you need HIPAA or SOC 2 compliance, Power Automate secures the whole Microsoft ecosystem. Crew AI is fascinating. It mimics a full digital project management firm to coordinate teams. Stack AI is built specifically with finance and legal risk management in mind. And Adepti, it literally uses large action models to visually look at a screen, identifying buttons and dropdowns on ancient enterprise software that doesn't even have an API. It's wild. Finally, Section 6, the real cost of AI. Let's dig into the math and those hidden costs. It is so easy to get caught up in the hype of the capabilities, but we have to look at the bottom line. Look at this stark price contrast. Running the exact same 5 workflows 50 times a day costs between $50 and $100 on Zapier's task-based pricing. But that same workload is only $9 to $16 on MakeCom's operation-based pricing. Zapier charges a task credit for every single step your automation takes. MakeCom charges per operation, which is just dramatically cheaper. If you're a local business doing appointment reminders or lead follow-ups, paying Zapier's premium just doesn't make mathematical sense when MakeCom handles the exact same thing for a fraction of the cost. You've also got to factor in the underlying compute costs running quietly in the background. For example, OpenAI's GPT-4o backbone costs $5 per 1 million input tokens. That's essentially the pieces of data the AI is reading to process your request. When you build complex multi-agent frameworks, like in Microsoft AutoGen, where agents are constantly debating and verifying each other's work, those API token costs can snowball really quickly. The frameworks themselves might be free and open source, but the intelligence powering the whole shebang, that definitely is not. And while self-hosting a platform like NNN seems practically free, like what, $5 to $20 a month for a server, the crucial point is the hidden cost. We're talking $200 to $500 a month in maintenance time and headaches if you aren't a developer. Self-hosting means you are personally on the hook for server maintenance, SSL certificates, API updates, and desperately trying to fix the system when it crashes at 2 a.m. If you don't have a technical background, that quote-unquote free platform will end up costing you vastly more in lost time and sheer frustration than just paying for a monthly software subscription. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this provocative thought for your own business. Your competitors are out there automating their operations for literally pennies an hour. So, who is still doing your busy work? Whether you opt for a simple no-code tool like Make.com or you deploy a highly advanced autonomous coding agent like Cursor, the tools to scale your output exponentially are sitting right in front of you. You just need to pick the one that fits your technical skill and your budget and start building. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.